everybody, welcome back. Today I want to show you how to do a very soft smoky eye using one palette. I'm only going to be using the Victoria Beckham Tuxedo palette. So join me. So this palette is really beautiful. I'm kind of obsessed with her line right now. She's focusing on clean beauty, which I can really appreciate. Female-run business, awesome. So I would love to support that kind of stuff. It comes with like this taupey brown shade that is great for a daytime eye, a smoky eye. It has this nice black shade, a gray, and then it has like a nice little lighter base shade or like a highlight shade. So this, I'm only gonna use this palette for my whole eye to keep things simple. And it's just gonna be a great daytime smoky eye. So I'm gonna keep it really soft, really simple. Let's get into it. So I've already prepped my eyelids using the Heir Atelier eye primer. Love this stuff. I want to make sure that my eye makeup lasts all day, so I already put that on. And to kind of get started, I know this is not in the palette, but I'm gonna go in with my Honest Beauty loose translucent setting powder on like a fluffy brush, just to kind of give myself a little extra base going. So I'm just gonna brush that across the whole lid. Sometimes I find that eyeshadow primers can be, they still have like a little bit of tackiness, and the reason for that is so that it picks up the pigment. And I feel like for people that are new to eyeshadow primers, it might be a little hard to like blend out the color, if that makes sense, because it's really holding on to it. So I feel that when you add a translucent powder over the top to kind of soften that, it just tones down that sticky tackiness. So it allows you to blend things a little more evenly, if that makes sense. I just think it makes things a little more user-friendly. My 2 cents, there you go. So I'm gonna go in with my little Victoria Beckham palette. And I think I'm gonna start I'm actually gonna start with this gray tone. So I'm gonna dip right in. I'm using a flat brush from the Golden Triangle collection in 770 Shading Blender. This is from BDellium. And I'm just tapping this across my eyelid. And I'm not going beyond my natural crease. I'm keeping this right on my lid. It's like a fun, pretty, soft gray. I find that tapping it on really ensures that you're really packing that color on into place. You're gonna get the best color payoff. Because if you're just swiping like this, it's just gonna kind of get dusty and get lost. Beautiful. Right up into that natural crease. And that's that. So next I'm gonna actually go in and I'm gonna go in with my little crease brush. So this is another BDellium tool, 776. And I'm gonna go in with this like brownie taupey shade. So I'm gonna give it a little dip in there. It's got a slight bit of sparkle. It's really pretty. And I'm just gonna apply this into my crease. And I kind of bring it down to the edge of the eye and swipe it across. I'm kind of focusing this on the outside because I don't want my eyes to get too dark, because I want to wear this out in the daytime. So I'm trying to keep it nice and soft. So I'm focusing on this outer corner situation. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with that big fluffer. This is from my Kitco, it's 1.15. And I'm just gonna blend everything together. So I'm just gonna do little tiny circles and little sweeping motions. Beautiful. I just basically don't want like a harsh like skin and then eyeshadow. I wanna make sure this is nice and blended together. I want like this nice gradient color. So I'm just kind of blending it all in. Honestly, the key to eye makeup is blending. Actually, the key to makeup in general. You just want to make sure you're properly blending things out. Cool. Okay, so I'm actually going to go in with this black shadow here. The colors are on here, Noir. I'm going with Noir. With an angle hair brush, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a liner action, but I want to use it wet. So it's going to add a little more depth and just kind of give me that drama, right? So I'm going to go with the EVIAN, a little EVIAN water. I'm just going to spritz it into the cap a little bit. And then I'm just gonna pick one little section of this, because once you add water to the eyeshadow, it does kind of change it a little bit. So I like to keep it all in one spot. So I'm just gonna use like the bottom and make that across the board where I'm gonna use it wet. So I'm gonna dip my brush into the water, and then I'm just gonna dip it right into my shadow. And then I'm going to use it as a liner. And I just do little taps. And I extended it out just slightly. And I'm keeping it really tight against that lash line. And look at that. It looks like a liquid liner, right? Instead of just a powder. So this is a great way to use your eyeshadow palettes. All right, I think I'm gonna do this underneath too. Why not? Ooh, okay, so I'm gonna go in and do the other side. Already, and that's kind of a dramatic eye for some, right? I think. So I'm actually gonna take, what should we do next? Oh my gosh. I'm actually gonna go back in with my little crease color, that brown tone. I'm actually gonna mix it with a little bit of this gray. Back in with my crease brush. And I just wanna intensify it just slightly. So you just want to watch out for any harsh lines, things like that. Now that I've kind of allowed this liner to sort of dry a little bit, I'm just going to give this a quick little wipe. Quick little wipe. Dry it off. And I'm going to go back in with that noir color, and we're just going to kind of smudge this up a little bit so it's not such a clean liner. So same liner, the noir, but dry this time. Give it a little tap. And what I like to do is actually use the side of the brush to kind of smudge it just slightly. This brush is actually still a little wet. So I'm gonna go in with my little blender brush and soften this up a little bit. I'm just trying to like soften the liner so it's not such a stark line. That's really what gets you the smokiness, right? That smoky eye is a soft, blurry liner. And it adds a little bit more drama. So do the same thing over here. Ooh la la, right? Gonna go in dry again to do a little bit underneath my flat brush. You can totally use a Q-tip if you want. Use your finger. And I'm not wearing foundation or anything yet. I generally like to do my eyes first, so that if there's any fallout or darkness that happens, I can kind of, instead of messing up what I've already done, I can just go in and do my foundation after. Beautiful. I'm gonna take this big fluffer guy because it's pretty clean. And see how there's like a little shadow cast here? I'm gonna kind of wipe away to keep it nice and clean. And then I'm gonna soften out any harsh shadows. I'm gonna put a little mascara on. I'm also gonna put on some foundation so you can see what this all looks like together. And I'll show you how this looks in the daylight so that you can see what a nice daytime smoky eye this is. It's still, it's a little bit darker than what I was anticipating because I kind of really went for it with that dark liner, but you saw how we kind of built it up, right? You could totally just go in with like the brown and use this brown taupey shade as your liner instead of the noir. So make it your own, play with it a little bit. But this to me is not too much for daytime. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face and come back to you. All right, so we're back. I've put on a full face of makeup, which is never the case for me. But this is how everything has come together. This is how it looks. I'll take you over to the window to show you some natural light as well. These are kind of natural light bulbs, but still really soft, right? It's good for day, transitions well into night. It's just it's a great palette. It's great for pretty much anybody, really. And I love that there's so many variations and using it wet versus dry. It's a lot of like flexibility within that. So there you have it. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. I will be coming up with lots more videos. I'm also offering some fun online classes, both private and group sessions. So you can check those out on my website at jenbrownmakeup.com. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.